Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Dr. Alessandro. Please like and subscribe. And in this video, I'm going to be discussing a question that I've been asked, and that is, hey doc, are there really Amish dentists? The answer to that is a no and yes. So what do I mean by that? So the answer is no Amish person that I am aware of in the history of this country and maybe even the world has ever formally gotten a license to practice dentistry. So typically their education ends around ages 13, 14. So that's where they stop going to school. Now, I'm not aware of any Amish high schools. There may be some. I'll have to look a little bit further into that. I mean, there's certainly people in the Amish community who are smart enough to go beyond the 14-year-old, 8th grade level and to go to high school and to go to college and go to even postgraduate studies. I'm definitely aware of that. But just the way their community and their culture is, for the most part, they stop at age 14 when it comes to education. So that said, no, there are no licensed Amish dentists. However, the yes part is a little bit different. Yes, out of their barns or out of somewhere, some of them do extract teeth on each other and make dentures and do other things. We're not exactly sure how they get their hands on supplies and instruments. My guess is eBay. Yes, for those of you who aren't aware, the Amish can use electricity in their barns. They electrify their barns. There are wires going into their barns. That is a little loophole. They can use electricity as long as it is for making a living. So for those of you who didn't know, there you are. And so they can use cell phones. Because I thought it was the weirdest thing in 2008 when I left a voicemail for an Amish person when I was following up after an extraction. So they can use cell phones, they can use smartphones, and it was an iPhone that I left the voicemail on. So yes, they can do these things, and so they could conceivably order online. So they can order anything, You can find all sorts of stuff on eBay. Look for yourself, but you can find all your dental supplies. So my suspicion is they get their stuff from either dentists who are retiring or from eBay or Amazon, I'm not sure which. And then they kind of run their own little private clinic. Now, the interesting is that the one patient who had gone to an Amish dentist recently said, oh, he says it's perfectly legal that he can do his extractions and his dental work because he only accepts tips. Sadly, this is not exactly true. When you're performing surgery on somebody else, you have to have an actual license to do so. So no, just accepting tips doesn't qualify you to be a dentist in the state of Pennsylvania or in any other state. You actually have to have a license to practice the profession. So that said, what do we do about that? Well, I mean, the only thing that we can really do is if we know definitively where one is, we call local authorities because that can be a hazard. And we have fixed up some things that came from Amish dentists. And the results weren't pretty at the Amish dentists. So we had to do some finagling and some removing root tips that were left behind and things along those lines. But, that's why we're here. We're here to help. And so I'm not recommending that you go out and seek out your local Amish dentist for care. I'm just telling you that they are there somewhere, and they kind of shift around sometimes. And so no, they're not licensed providers, but yes, they're there and they're sometimes extracting teeth. All right. So hopefully this was helpful for you and interesting culturally, and I hope you're all staying well and healthy. Thanks for joining me.